right, gentlemen, the superstar Billy, awfully good to have you back, my friend. And, of course, Jerry the King Lawler. Jerry, delightful to have you out here. I must start off by saying, if you will forgive me for just a second, Bill, Jerry, what a scrap. I tell you, I thought it was it. You had the world heavyweight title around your waist, but I guess it was not to be. Ric Flair prevailed in it.
Well, first of all, I just want to say a couple of things. Right off the bat, I want to first of all thank the wrestling fans here. I want to thank everybody that was at the Coliseum, right at 10,000 people down there. The support was tremendous. You know, I do feel, I have mixed feelings about the thing, Lance. I know I wrestled a good match. I felt like I had Ric Flair beat, but at the same time, I didn't come out with a world championship, and, and on that respect, I feel like I let the fans down some. You know, after the match, I go back to the dressing room, and here's a situation where it's something that you've worked so hard to get, and then just that quick it's over, and there's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of things that go through your mind, and but really it boils down to basically there's only two things you can do. You can either you can either tuck your head in the sand and call it quits, or either you can go on and suck it up and go on, and that's exactly what I've decided to do. I've never been a quitter in the past. I've always been a winner. The people here know that. And 1985 is still a long way from being over. And as long as I've got the Southern Heavyweight Championship, I'm still the #1 contender for the world title here. And what I'm going to do and what I'm telling the fans right now is I'm still going to be in the hunt for the world title.
Okay, Jerry, can I just say a couple of things now? Everybody has a sad story to tell, and you're telling a sad story, brother. But it's always me. Hey, you're not the only wrestler in the world. Jacket wants to be the world's champion. You're looking at one right here that wants to be one. Now, let me tell you about a sad story, and I think I've told it before. They told me I was too small to get into the wrestling business, never mind anything else. So I left Scotland, went to Australia, couldn't afford no weights, so I used to work out with a little old barbell. I made myself a bucket full of sand. Then when I thought I was big enough, I joined the circus, run away, whooped everybody on the circus, went to the promoter's door, and he says, your tail's too small. Jumped up in the ring, whooped the biggest dude in there, and here I is in America. Came all the way to Memphis, Tennessee 9 years ago, and who was sitting on the throne? Jerry the King Lawler, right? Now, hey, the match was great. I saw it, Lance, so did 10,000 people. Yep. You was great, but you didn't beat Ric Flair, did you? Right? Now, so you're going to get a rematch. Only if you end up with that Southern belt, and that's what I'm here for, brother, that Southern belt, because whoever owns that wrestles Ric Flair. Remember, there's two people here. There's a lot of wrestlers out there. You only get to wrestle them if you're the champion.
Okay, hold it, Jerry. Before we get into any conversation right here, I got to say, I remember the last time that we had a confrontation. It was the first confrontation between Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee. Let's turn the clock back and take a look at this. This will bring back some memories to you.
I want to explain, first of all, to the people that are watching that I've been asked to come here today and try to act civilized and sit here like a gentleman about 6 feet away from a jerk who cost me my international title and cost me $5,000. And what I'd like to do is put my fist right down his throat, and I don't really feel like sitting.
Boy, hey, come on, Billy, sit down. Now, you guys agreed to come in there. Now, sit down, please.
Tell him to talk right.
Well,
tell him.
Because one match is all we'll need to get this over and done with. Just sit there and smile. Why don't you take those silly glasses off? You look like a washed-up pimp or something. Sit there and act like a human being, buddy. Let me tell you something. One match is all we need anyway, because we went through this a few years ago. I wrestled this jerk every night of the week, it seemed like, for 6 months, at least 100 times, and he kept coming back and coming up with different stipulations, and I had to keep beating him, and I'm not going to go through that again. One match will settle it, and it'll either be you or it'll be me. Gone, brother.
Can I just talk for a little bit now? If we was going to have a talking match, I believe he'd win this. Well, I keep a little book, Lawler. I don't know what you do. I'll tell you how many times we wrestled, brother. We wrestled 17. Right? You're listening now? 17 times. Now, I got it right here in black and white. 9 of them was won by Bill Dundee. 5 of them was some kind of disqualification. The referee stopped it 5 times. And 3 was won by Jerry the King Lawler. So that puts me in the box seat, brother.
Well, if there is any question in your mind about it, I don't think you're really saying that.
Let me just say something here. Do you mind? I mean, we sit here and watch this jerk pushing a bunch of barbells around. Now, I don't know. You've got your little record book there. You might ought to look in and see if there's ever any instance of anybody being beaten in the middle of a ring by a set of barbells. I don't think there is. You see, it's going to be a big difference when you got somebody in there like me that's going to be taking you on instead of a set of barbells, brother, it's going to be a whole different story. I can assure you that.
Eddie reminded me that Jerry and Bill were a tag team, and certainly one of the best in the world, as a matter of fact. They held the titles a long time. You guys met everybody. You were good friends, traveled up and down the road together.
Whoa. You're about half right. We were a tag team, and we were successful. We were not good friends.
Well, we traveled up and down the road, but you know what ended the friendship? Have you ever made 300 miles in a car? You would say, hey, you want to hear a tape? And I'd think, yeah, he's going to play George Jones. You know who he played? He played Jerry Lawler. 300 miles there, Jerry Lawler. 300 miles back, Jerry Lawler.
You know how you can tell if Dundee's lying? If his lips are moving, he's lying. Now, let me tell you something. All he wanted to do on the trips was talk. And you know what his favorite subject is? Bill Dundee. Now, if you didn't talk about Bill Dundee and keep telling him how great he was, then he's silence.
See, that's just what I was saying. Jerry said we wrestled 100 times. We didn't wrestle 100 times. We wrestled 17 times. It's like Jerry says he's a legend. Yeah, he's a legend, all right, but it's in his own mind, brother, not mine. Now, Jerry, all I'm going to say to you, like I said before, I'll take the glasses off, and I'm better looking with them off than I am with them on, right? So, see, now, all I got to say to you is, brother, that belt is coming home to little Willie.
Well, let me just say this. You know, the girls out there are screaming for you, Bill. The fans, you know, the fans obviously like you. I'm not going to take anything away from you. There's one thing that a lot of wrestlers lack. You know, there may be guys that know all the holds and know all the moves and everything, but some of them lack that little spark of charisma. But you're loaded with it. The fans like you, but at the same time, Bill, I think the fans like me, and I think that the fans would rather see us wrestle as a team than against each other. And I even tried to get you to wrestle as my partner, and you wouldn't do it. You know.
As a matter of fact, he did make an effort for you guys to get together as friends. Let's take a look and see exactly what happened. You remember it. Certainly you do. You ought to.
But I'm going to decide. Anyway, I'm going to go call either Bill Dundee or the boogeyman, Jimmy Valiant, right now, and we're going to get somebody in here.
Okay, I hope we can get...
Dundee, for some reason or other...
Don't come out here, please, causing any trouble, Phil.
No, wait a minute. Anyway, let me tell you. Anyway,
and
Bill Dundee, I talked with Bill Dundee, and I heard Hickerson, what he said out here earlier, and apparently there is some sort of problem. You know, Bill won a match over Bowtie, and he was supposed to get a shot at my Southern title, and he said he was still waiting on that shot, and I said, I don't even have the belt anymore, you know, and he said, well, I'll wait and come in when you do have the title, and he wants to wrestle me for the title for some reason. Anyway, Bill Dundee is not coming, but Lance, all right, as you can see, you know, I tried to call Bill.
You did.
He didn't want to be partners anymore. But you know, if that's the way you want it, if you don't want to be partners anymore, you're so dead set against wrestling against me. That's fine. We're going to have the match, and you're going to come out the loser as usual. That's all I got to say.
It wasn't that I didn't want to be your partner, Jerry. I'm sitting down there in New Orleans, down there in the French Quarter, with my main squeeze, Ruby Begonia, and the telephone rings. So I picks it up, and this is early in the morning, brother. You ever been in Bourbon Street on a Friday night? Man, you don't go to bed. Everybody party hardy, so I'm sitting there. He says, will you come up to Memphis and be my partner? I said, oh, my God, he wants me all the way to Memphis. I don't feel good. Then I remembered I'd signed a contract with Eddie Marlin. I gets to wrestle the Southern Heavyweight Champion. I wasn't coming up here taking a chance to get hurt before I got to wrestle the Southern Heavyweight Champion. Now, I didn't say it had to be Jerry Lawler. It said for that belt, and that's what I want, that belt right there. Then I get to go whoop Ric Flair, right?
Well, that's true. You had a match with Bowtie. And yes, you did win. And in that particular match, the stipulations were that you got a shot. Whoever the winner was got a shot at the Southern Heavyweight.
I'm telling you about Memphis, Tennessee. It's making me hot. He gets to sit there with a microphone, and I go to jump up and down like a jack-in-the-box to talk to you, and I'm hot.
Well, I'm sharing it with you, Bill. It doesn't bother me that I have to share it with you. I look forward to it, as a matter of fact. Let's take a look at some of the action that took place in that bout with Bowtie to determine who got the shot at the Southern Heavyweight title. Wait a minute. Bryce grabbed his leg. Yeah. He tripped Dundee straight down. He's trying to say, oh, I was hurt. I couldn't have done that. Bowtie drops down on him with a driving chop, and Dundee swings a leg over the rope. Shoulder of Bowtie.
That's all. I can't say nothing more than the action speaks for itself. I come up here and was promised a Southern title shot. I beat Bowden, and that's all I was interested in. Now I want the title shot, and I got it.
No,
that's true. Okay, you know, you got the title shot, Bill. But let me just say this. We've sat and we've watched these videos of things in the past. It's just like my title match with Ric Flair. You can't live in the past. You got to talk about now. You got to talk about the future. You got to talk about today. Sure, you've won a lot of big matches in the past. I have too. But when it came down to the big matches with me, Bill, for this belt or with the hair at stake or with your wife's hair at stake or with loser leaves town, you never won the big matches. So what makes you think that you can do now what you couldn't do in the past?
Okay, I gave that a whole lot of thought. And you know what inspired me the most to come back and do this? Because when little old Spinks went out there to fight Big Bad Holmes, they said it couldn't be done. The bigger guy has got to win. You know what happened to the bigger guy, Jack? He run out of steam because he ate too many hamburgers. I'm in the best shape of my life, Daddy. And if it goes 59 minutes, Lawler, your butt's getting pinned 1, 2, 3, and I'm the next Southern title champ and the next world.
Well, that's what it's going to be all about, and it's true. Leon Spinks was the first light heavyweight. It had never been done before that.
Let me just say one thing real quick, and I want you to listen. I want you to listen good. You're sitting out here, and you're talking about winning this belt, and you're talking about how bad you want to be the world heavyweight champion. Now, I know I don't have a corner on that market. I know that I'm not the only wrestler in the world that wants to be the world heavyweight champion. I know that you probably do real, real bad. But I'll tell you this. I just got finished wrestling Ric Flair, and I didn't beat him. And you can't beat him, and you can't beat me for this belt. So how do you like that?
All right. Well, like I said, Jerry, when I win this one, I'll worry about Flair.
Okay, some things never change. Good luck to both of you when you meet. We'll be seeing that fireworks.